On a stormy evening in 2009, the bustling city of Dallas, Texas was alive with its usual rhythm, unaware of the tragic events unfolding in one of its luxurious homes. The Blackwood family, known for their charm and success, was about to face a situation that would forever change their lives. Blackwood, a successful businessman, husband, and father, was found dead in the grand home he shared with his wife, Alara, and their young daughter, Celia. What was first considered an unfortunate accident would soon unravel into a tangled web of secrets, betrayal, and criminal schemes. Dorian Blackwood, just 26 at the time of his death, wasn't born into the privileges of wealth. Growing up in a middle-class household, Dorian had to rely on his intellect, ambition, and resilience to carve out his path in life. From an early age, he was captivated by the world of business, particularly real estate. With dreams of transforming both his life and the lives of others, Dorian set out on a journey of growth and learning, eventually turning his passion into a flourishing career. After earning a degree in business from a local university, Dorian wasted no time entering the competitive real estate market. He started small, tackling modest projects and accumulating valuable experience. These early ventures were not immediately profitable, but they laid a solid foundation for what was to come. Dorian was patient, learning the ins and outs of the industry, while building relationships with investors, contractors, and clients who admired his integrity and transparency. As time passed, Dorian's reputation grew. His keen understanding of the real estate market, coupled with his ethical approach to business, earned him the trust of both clients and colleagues. While many around him indulged in the extravagant lifestyle that often accompanied wealth, Dorian remained grounded, never allowing material possessions or flashy habits to distract him from his goals. For him, success was not just measured in financial terms, but also in his ability to remain true to his moral compass. By 2003, Dorian had become a prominent figure in the Dallas business community. He wasn't just a businessman, he was a philanthropist, a mentor, and a trusted advisor to many. But despite all his achievements, Dorian's life took an unexpected turn when he met Alara Morris at a business party. Alara Morris was a striking woman, not only for her physical beauty, but also for her intelligence and professional accomplishments. At just 23, she had already made a name for herself in marketing, known for her creativity and sharp insights into market trends. The evening she met Dorian, sparks flew almost immediately. The business event was typical for someone like Dorian, a well-connected individual who frequently attended networking gatherings. However, this particular night was different. Alara's confidence and charm captivated Dorian from the moment they began talking. She was unlike anyone he had ever met, sharp in her business acumen, but warm in her demeanor. The connection between them was more than just physical attraction. It was intellectual and emotional, rooted in shared values and aspirations. Dorian, always composed and rational, found himself wanting something more than the professional success he had carefully crafted. He wanted companionship, love, and a partner with whom he could share not only his business ambitions, but also his personal dreams. Alara felt the same, drawn to Dorian's sincerity and thoughtfulness. Unlike other successful men she had encountered in her career, Dorian treated her with respect and genuine care. Their relationship blossomed quickly, and within months they were inseparable. Their love story culminated in a grand wedding in 2004. The event was a social highlight, drawing attention from business circles and the media alike. The union of two highly respected professionals seemed like a perfect match. The couple's shared ambition and love for each other painted the image of a perfect, successful family, one that everyone admired. Dorian and Alara's married life started out like a fairy tale, with Dorian's real estate empire growing and Alara continuing to thrive in marketing. They were a power couple in every sense. Their joy multiplied in 2006 with the birth of their daughter Celia, who brought them closer together, or so it appeared from the outside. However, as time passed, cracks began to form in the seemingly flawless facade of their marriage. While Dorian's business continued to soar, his dedication to his career meant long hours away from home. As new real estate projects piled up, so did the meetings, events, and networking obligations, leaving little time for his family. Alara, now a mother as well as a professional, felt increasingly isolated. The responsibilities of caring for their young daughter fell largely on her shoulders, and with Dorian constantly absent, she began to feel the emotional distance growing between them. Dorian, consumed by his ambition, was often too preoccupied to notice how neglected his wife felt. Their conversations became strained, and when they did speak, it was often about practical matters, finances, work, and the mundane details of everyday life. The warmth and affection that once defined their relationship seemed to have faded, replaced by frustration and disappointment. By 2009, the couple was struggling. Arguments about parenting styles, money, and the direction of their lives became more frequent. Alara, despite her efforts to maintain the family's unity, felt as though she was losing her place in Dorian's life. Little did she know her husband was harboring secrets that would soon come to light in the most shocking of ways. One fateful evening in 2009, Alara and Celia were out of the house, leaving Dorian alone. When Alara returned later that night, she immediately sensed something was wrong. The house, usually filled with Dorian's presence, was eerily quiet. She called out for him but received no response. Panic set in as she searched the house, only to find Dorian lying motionless at the bottom of the stairs. Her heart raced as she dialed emergency services, but it was too late. Dorian was pronounced dead at the scene. The police arrived, and after a brief investigation, they concluded that it was a tragic accident. They believed Dorian had lost his balance and fallen down the stairs, possibly due to fatigue or a momentary lapse in attention. Alara, devastated by her husband's sudden death, accepted the explanation without question. The shock of losing Dorian so unexpectedly left her in a state of deep grief. The man she had built her life with was gone, and she now faced the daunting task of raising their daughter alone. Dorian's funeral was a somber affair, attended by family, friends, and colleagues from across the business world. The atmosphere was one of shock and sadness. Dorian, who had been at the peak of his career, was now gone, leaving behind a grieving wife and daughter. Alara, dressed in black and barely able to hold herself together, stood beside her husband's coffin, struggling to process the reality of the situation. Their daughter, Celia, too young to fully understand the gravity of the loss, clung to her mother's hand, sensing the heaviness of the moment. Friends and family offered their condolences, but nothing could fill the void left by Dorian's death. For months after the funeral, Alara tried to navigate life without her husband. She focused on caring for Celia and keeping their household together, but her grief was overwhelming. Everything in their home reminded her of Dorian. His clothes, his books, even the way the furniture was arranged. It was as if he was still there, but unreachable. One afternoon, as Alara and Celia were going through Dorian's belongings, they stumbled upon something that would change everything. Hidden in the back of a drawer, behind old photos and keepsakes, was an envelope. Inside was a photograph of Dorian with a woman Alara didn't recognize. Along with the photo was a handwritten letter signed by someone named Selina Foster. The letter was affectionate, even romantic, detailing an ongoing relationship between Dorian and Selene. It spoke of secret meetings, shared dreams, and a plan to escape their current lives. The revelation hit Alara like a ton of bricks. Not only had her husband been unfaithful, but he had also been planning to leave her for another woman. The betrayal was devastating. Alara had never suspected Dorian of being disloyal, even during the rough patches in their marriage. But this letter revealed a side of him she had never known. Her grief was now compounded by anger, confusion, and an overwhelming sense of betrayal. Alara couldn't stop thinking about the letter and what it meant. How long had Dorian been living a double life? What else had he hidden from her? As she dug deeper into his belongings, she uncovered more troubling signs. There were bank statements and financial records indicating large sums of money being transferred to an overseas account. These transactions were not part of their shared finances, leading Alara to suspect that Dorian had been involved in something far more complex and potentially dangerous than she had ever imagined. The more she uncovered, the more questions arose. Why had Dorian been so secretive? What role did Selene play in all of this? And most importantly, was Dorian's death truly an accident? Or was there something far more sinister at play? Determined to find answers, Alara reached out to a lawyer and submitted the new evidence to the police. With the new information, the investigation into Dorian's death was reopened. The police, now armed with the new evidence, began to re-examine every aspect of the case. Forensic experts were called in to review the details of Dorian's injuries, and what they found was startling. The bruises on Dorian's body were not consistent with a simple fall down the stairs. Instead, they suggested that Dorian had been involved in a struggle before his fall. Bruises on his wrists and chest indicated that he may have been restrained or pushed, leading investigators to conclude that foul play was likely involved. As the investigation deepened, more information came to light about Dorian's secret financial dealings. Large transfers of money to overseas accounts, shady business partners, and connections to known criminals painted a picture of a man entangled in dangerous schemes. One name stood out among the list of Dorian's associates: Jericho Maddox. Jericho Maddox was a notorious figure in the world of financial crime. With a history of fraud and deception, he had been involved in numerous illegal dealings over the years. Investigators discovered that Jericho and Dorian had been working together on several real estate projects, but these ventures were not as legitimate as they appeared. Jericho had used Dorian's reputation and connections to facilitate fraudulent transactions, all while keeping Dorian in the dark about the true nature of their partnership. But Jericho wasn't working alone. The investigation revealed that Selene Foster, Dorian's lover, was also involved in the scheme. She had used her relationship with Dorian to manipulate him, drawing him deeper into Jericho's web of deceit. Together, Selene and Jericho had planned to exploit Dorian, draining his finances and leaving him with nothing. As the pieces of the puzzle came together, it became clear that Dorian's death was no accident. Jericho and Selene had conspired to kill him, both for financial gain and to eliminate any risk of him discovering their plan. With the evidence stacked against them, both Jericho Maddox and Selene Foster were arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder. The trial that followed was a media sensation, with the details of Dorian's secret life and his tragic death captivating the public's attention. Jericho, the mastermind behind the plot, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Celine, who had played a key role in manipulating Dorian, received a 25-year sentence for her involvement in the crime. For Alara and Celia, the truth brought closure, but it did little to ease the pain of losing Dorian. The man they had loved and trusted had led a double life, and the discovery of his betrayal left scars that would take years to heal. In the end, Alara made the difficult decision to leave Dallas. She and Celia relocated to a new city, hoping to leave behind the painful memories of the past. While they could never forget Dorian, they were determined to build a new life together, free from the shadows of his secrets. The case of Dorian Blackwood would be remembered not only for its shocking twists, but also as a reminder that even the most seemingly perfect lives can be built on lies. And as Alara and Celia moved forward, they carried with them the knowledge that the truth, no matter how painful, was always worth seeking.